Okay, so let's talk about the fullbacks. These players are on the outside of the flat back four, and they're also known as side backs, or they're referred to as the left or the right back, depending on which side. So, what skills do your fullbacks need? Well, they need to be quick. They need speed. They need to be positioned in the proper places. They got to be able to tackle. They got to be able to block the cross, and they got to be able to make clearances, as well as defending the far posts. Now, your fullbacks, they might not be the tallest players in the world, and that's okay. And they also might not necessarily be the most technically talented players either. Some of those players are going to be your forwards, and they're going to be your midfielders and your wingers. But if you look at the picture here, you'll see they need supreme fitness. These are the passes made by Borussia Dortmund's fullbacks in a recent Champions League game. So they're covering both sides of the field, and they're making passes all the way up the whole length of the field. So you'll also see that their awareness has to be particularly good too, because they've got to cover so much of the field. They also need to be able to get back and defend when they need to. Now, your fullbacks are really going to be your all-rounders of the team. They're going to have to be able to do everything. When they win the ball, they're going to play a short pass into midfield or clear it long. They're going to channel the ball away from goal into wide areas when they're making tackles. They're going to block crosses, cover for the centre-backs if they're tracking a runner or getting dragged out of position, and they're going to have to play the full length of the field. Now, here's the job they do offensively. They have to get forward, just as we saw in the previous diagram, and they're going to be able to support the attack. And the best way to do this is to be able to make penetrating runs behind the defense on the overlaps when they're getting forward. I'll let my friend John Barnes explain exactly how this works. When fullbacks get forward, they should stay in their own channel. Right side stays right, left side stays left. Their job is to support the attack in play, provide an extra outlet for a pass, and make what we call the overlapping run into the final third of the field. This is where they are no longer just the solid physical tackling and covering defenders of the previous era. Now they are part of the attack in play. Their technique, control, and dribbling must be of a more advanced level, and they must be able to cross the ball into the box to provide assists. Player 1A on this picture is the fullback, and the dotted line he's going to make around number 2 is the overlapping run where he can be played the ball in behind the defense. Let's now look at a real-life example. We watch Patrice Evra tracking right through the Arsenal defense into the channel, providing the overlapping run, cross into the box, and a header at the far post. Watch him again as he makes the run all the way from midfield, all the way through the defense, in behind. Now let's look at one of the greatest fullbacks of the modern era. This is Gary Neville playing for Manchester United. This one's a simple header, but he gets himself in the right position. Here we see him able to block the cross and clear the ball. This one, he's firming the tackle, lets the other player know he's there, and gets back in position. And here, if you watch him, he's going to track the run and win the ball. This one, where the arrow is where the other player wants to play the ball. But Neville's not going to get caught out. He stays in his position. He's going to almost win it right here. Then when they get the ball back, he's again going to block the cross. And you'll see that he can turn defense into offense. This is the other side of the game. Here, he has the ball. He plays a little 1-2 with Ronaldo, and he's breaking in to the other team's half. On this one, similar thing. Now he makes the overlap, and he can put a cross into the box. Here's another example. Barcelona's Dani Alves in the circle. Look at the run he makes. He never stops running. He's keeping on going. Cross into the box. And a great finish. That's the job of the modern fullback. So you found your fullbacks, and you've got someone who can defend, pass, dribble, cross, understands the positioning. What happens when your fullbacks are so good at offense, they get caught up the other end of the field and the other team starts to break away? This is where the discipline of your midfield and centre-backs comes into play. You cannot coach good attacking fullbacks without putting into place the contingency plan for when they get caught upfield. It's so important to make sure your midfield knows that the fullbacks are supposed to join the attack, and it is the midfielders' jobs to cover for them when they do so.